Who are just joining us, very important discussion. We're having a military resilience conversation regarding the purpose of war. Now, the intent is very important. For those of us who understand the belief system will be fine and well. However, one who does not understand the belief system must at least attempt to learn what belief is, because the one who does not understand belief cannot possibly have faith, and the one who does not have faith cannot have success in this life and the next. So our dear brother is asking, as we are, in this closed location, discussing the importance, moving forward with the revolutionary efforts from 2021. We did go back into the roots of the revolution, dating back at least 40 years, 2 generations. And we want to get to the point of the matter, which is, as the best of selected one says, that in times of peace, prepare for war, and in times of war, prepare for peace. However, we have a challenger here, and he is a military attaché. He did serve. He's a U.S. veteran, we must say. He served several tours. Afghanistan as well as Iraq, not the first Iraq, of course, the second one. But he was, let's leave the historical perspective for him to elaborate if he chooses. However, we want to get back to the point. Clearly, when we look at society, we have to have a security force, a force of security, one that will ensure safety and a balance in society, administering the necessities of the policies which govern and set the affairs of people into the proper perspective that is most easiest for them. We think that there is no such thing as everlasting and short-lived, and this is a very serious issue. We have narrowed down to the fact that the systems of education, globally that is, of course, the United States leading it, where it degrades from one all the way through university. Patience is not taught. The following, led by Lieutenant Commander Patience. Served a great deal in the revolutionary efforts in 2021. We have to say that, earning so many medals of honor. We have to say, mashallah, wa tabarakallah. But getting back to it, also faith. No faith is taught because the separation of church and state. So you're not allowed. And here we are now. We're learning about how to be Big Bunny, something. Anyhow, but trying to keep it very, very direct. Masculinity is in question, obviously, and parenting as we knew it itself is in jeopardy. But another one is modesty. Modesty is not something that is very well catered to. It is something actually the opposite of that. And humility is another big one that is not being cited.
Fucking YouTube influencer over there.
Well, we must go ahead and turn over the mic. Well, go ahead, yes. So what do you, if you have something in which you want to elaborate on why there should be more and more and more war instead of the purpose of war being ultimately for peace.
You mistaken intent, my friend. There's nothing anywhere that says for there to be more war. Just only to prepare and have the mindset that there's always going to be challenges. That's the resilient focus behind preparing for more war during times of war, because obviously you're in a war. If you know you're preparing for peace as opposed to preparing for war, so you're in a combat situation. Most civilians don't know about combat situations; they hear about it. So, for those that are in combat situations, as far as I'm concerned, from someone who's been in a combat situation, I don't prepare for peace. I prepare for more war. So that translates into the civilian effort the same exact way, because every time you go out there, it's war. So you prepare for it, not necessarily that you're always going to be in a war, but you will always be prepared for it.
And what do you say to the diplomats, government officials? What do you consider them to be in times of those situations?
Yeah, I don't claim to be a diplomat. I don't claim to be a politician.
Fair enough, but you did speak for citizens and combatants, so why not speak for diplomats?
I can speak for myself. That's what I speak for. That's my philosophy, is to prepare for it. It's worked for me. And, you know, even when we were growing up, it was always a thing where we were preparing for, you know, the worst situation. You know, prepare for the worst, but expect the best. But you know, and that's still the philosophy, is prepare for more war, and that's what it's about for me. So if you're preparing for, you're not going to be caught off guard.
Okay, mind you, let's
even if it doesn't come, you still.
Though we have not gotten that far in our narrative or in our, well, it was actually a narrative where
you should take these off, my friend.
You know, the career is discussed of the activist, the Quranic teacher and activist. We discussed the fact that yes, you know, we made it over there at that time.
2 years ago.
And we have reached practically the point of where we're going to Luga. Now we may continue from there. Of course, we must continue from there, as we should say. Let's make that very abundantly clear. However, also we have to simply state that in 1990 you left for United States from Dakar, correct?
From Dakar.
Okay. And yours truly, along with the rest of the...
It was from Luga, but yeah, I was in Luga.
Okay, very well, fair enough. Same thing, the timing. And the destination is still the same. You boarded your cargo ship from Dakar Yoff International Airport, Leopold Sédar Senghor. You did have a direct flight to JFK, John F. Kennedy. From there, you did station yourself in Long Island.
Long Island.
Okay. Now,
Medford, where you
Okay, please, I just want to make sure, for the record, this is what happened. So you agree. Now, okay, yours truly, along with the rest of the pack, went and did another 5 years in the Gambia. There we experienced combat. Absolutely, we had to experience it. There was a coup. 5 years extra. What are you talking about? I did another 5 years. Absolutely. I didn't leave until 1995, son. Dang. Exactly. I witnessed the coup and the counter coup. When the first coup happened, I was at the border between the two countries. It's crazy. I cannot make this stuff up. And then I was in the Capitol when they shut it down and the curfew took place, so I had to witness the gun battles going on there. People trying to get out of the capital to get home. And then several months later, and the soldiers. Well, listen. I'm gonna be honest with you, 100%. Because there was another gun battle that happened. I was living next to the camp, the military camp in Buckout, and that joint happened at 3 a.m. and 3 in the morning. Buckout, the military barracks. And as a matter of fact, I saw that former president guy. What's his name? The former president. When he first got elected, people liked him. He was young, he was charismatic. He sounded like he was about something. He came all the way up to the door of the house, like literally passing by. It was raining that day, but I got to see him like just over. Anywho, after that is when it was time to get out of Dodge. When that happened, it was time to get out. So yours truly from there bailed on it. Then January 1st, 1995 at 1 a.m. yours truly arrived in Richmond, Virginia. From there you had 2 years. The 2 years were preparing for the GED, mind you. You did not have any high school other than one semester, St. Augustine's High School. We have that on record. The GED took at least 2 years. It would take place in December of 1997. From there also there would be some odd jobs relating to sales as well as that of clerical work. From there we did manage to get into the community college. Something we have to say, if you can take a time off between the two is very important. Between any of the academic institutions, take some time off. So we did not take the time off. We had to spend from 7 years at least, to be direct, minimum 7 years in college university before we got the undergraduate degree in international business. From there, we did pursue somewhat of and we always maintained the Quranic tutoring perspective of it, because that is also something that we were certified to do, because you're certified early to teach, actually. To teach Quran, you don't have to finish the Quran to teach the Quran. You just need to know like the basic reading, and you can teach the basic reading to somebody, and you're qualified teacher. It's not very difficult under those circumstances, especially when you're talking back then. You did not have all the technology that you have today, so that played a difference. But getting back to it, this was along with corporate. We did manage to get into corporate along with being in college, that came along. When you're in college, you kind of see yourself working for corporate if you're business minded. If you are scientific, you see yourself being a researcher, a doctor in white coat, forensic scientist, this type of thing. If you see yourself designing, architecture, engineering, this other one they have similar to that of, legal aid or technology, something technical. So for us, we try to remain in the educational sector. It's really important because we know that education is the power. Authentic education, it liberates. And we also know from the traditions of the Prophet ﷺ, the best among you is the one who learns and teaches. So we know that at least, we have something to fall back on as to being legitimately why we're remaining as teachers and remaining in the Quranic teaching professions. So we did remain, and between 2000 and I want to say 2007 to 2012 or 2013, really full time we were all in to Quranic teaching full time. Yeah, because prior to that, of course, there were these odd jobs, and there was some corporate in the past, there was some banking, there was some private sector, a little bit of ophthalmology or ophthalmology or opticianry, whatever work, we did some of that thing there. But teaching the Quran, whether it was tutoring, whether it was, at these centers, we did, and we also had to do the Ramadan leading, which from 28 years or 29 years, we at least did 26, we led at least 26. And that's really even cutting a lot short, but we're thankful to God. But these were the activities that we had, and we remained into the Quranic Revolutionary Declaration of 2021 or what led up to that. But definitely from the time of Barack Obama being elected, inaugurated, till 2000 again, 13, 14, like this, we were full-time in the Quranic sector. From 2015 to 2018 to 19, really, this is where we pursued the master's degree. The first one in information technology management with cybersecurity focus, concentration, which was achieved in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. We were expecting to do more technical, but we did scientific, so it did not pan out well for us to go and do this behind the desk thing with the computers. But we decided to maybe write a book on the subject or somehow related, which A Million Stars to Self-Empowerment came out, self-published. From there, we decided to go for the master's, the MBA, with the project management being the concentration. And of course, this is right around 2019, did some minimum time with internship, Amazon or whatever other digital thing, the YouTube and everything like that, and managed to really make some leeway from 2000 and 2021 or 2019, excuse me, to the current time. And what's mainly important is understanding what is the reality, because I look back 20 years ago, Rashid Rahimahullah, he should be the one who is here, not me. Really, it's really something in which he was good with numbers, he was very good with numbers. He had a brilliant mind, Rahimahullah. And I say that because I know that there were plans for him and there were plans for me. The plans for him, again, 2004, it was clear. The plans for me is still ongoing, isn't it? But the point of the matter that I want to make abundantly clear is two very important points. And the first point is that, there's something called everlasting and short-lived. And because people do not understand what everlasting means, consider yourself transitioning away from this world. Really, I cannot summarize it in any better way because time is short. Transitioning away from this world, what is the best that one can leave behind? It's not anything like tangible,
I don't care what.
It's really the legacy that they leave behind.
We live in on this earth, everything changes.